All right, so let's debunk the fear mongers of inflation once again. I am so sick of these guys and their consistent, nonsensical fear mongering. And here they're going to show us the rise and fall of the dollar. All right, and they're going to look at it in one way and one way only, and it's oh my goodness. So here's the Federal Reserve, 1913. The Fed is created. $100 could buy you $100 worth of goods in 1913. That same $100 today can only buy you whatever that is, friggin' $7 worth of goods, and I'm putting a scare quotes on that, in 2019. So look at that. Oh my goodness, inflation's ruined your purchasing power. Has it though? Has it? So let's take a look at something. From the Federal Reserve, median family income in the U.S., and we're going to look at 1970. The median family income was about $10,000 in 1970, give or take. All right, you hearing me so far? Median family income, $10,000 in 1970. All right. An advertisement. I'm not sure what magazine. TVhistory.tv is the website. Here's a 1972 Emerson Color TV 18-inch model. Cost $358 in 1972. So we go back to our median family income. We look at 1972. So $11,000 is the median family income. Median means 50% of the people have more, 50% of the people have less. Regardless of what your income was, this TV cost $358.88. So we take our trusty calculator, we take $358.88, divide that by $11,000, and our costs 3.2% of your entire annual income to buy that TV. All right, so now we're going to show you, I want to show you something here. Hold on just a second. And this is income limits for the top 5% quintiles. All right, so we got fifth quintile, right? Yeah. So we're going to go to 1977 because we bought our first Quasar TV in 1977. It's a 13-inch, I think, black and white, sit on a tabletop. Cost about $100 if memory serves. We were right here making $5,700 a year. That's the highest of the lowest quintile of income, if that makes sense. So 1977, my family was making about $5,000 a year, give or take. Your family might have been making $11,000 a year. A guy in the middle was making $16,000. People down the street making $24,000, and people, Mr. Burns was making $38,000. So we took that $100 Quasar. And it cost us, and our income was $5,734. That cost us 1.7% of our total income for the year. I hope you're with me so far. All right, so let's go now to right here. This is from CNET, and this is in 2017. And they like to measure the prices of TVs by price per square inch. So here in 2017, the baseline, LG, Life's Good, $1.78 price per square inch. 5 years ago, in terms of today, it cost 2.08 price per square inch, and you can see the price is going significantly higher relative. $7,000. This is just TVs. $22,000. Man, well, let's just look at it. $2,300 price per square inch for a I don't even know how many, whatever that size is. A huge 55-inch TV. 55 inches, my friends. All right, so we go back to the median income in 2017. That would cost what, $2,000, and we're making $76,000. So that costs 2.6% of your total income for a significantly better TV than that, and you're paying less in terms of total income. And that is in 2017. It's just got better now with so much more engineering, color. Better screen, this thing called remote control. You can record stuff. It's just nuts. All right, we're not done yet. But Josh, there's more to inflation than just prices. So what about, all right, let's take a look here. This is going to be food inflation, and we're just going to look at max. And we're going to see food inflation goes, basically, what's that about? So we got food inflation rate, let's see, let's give us an average. I guess not. But anyway, highest, lowest days. Okay, but you can see right here. So check this out. Volatile, then starting to level off in 1980. Volatile. So, prices are way high. Look at that, man. Food inflation about 2 to 3% a year. Just not as significant. So When you look at this thing right here, you would say, yes, the price of bread is a fixed product, right? The price of bread is the loaf of bread, is the exact same thing 100 years ago as it is today, 100%. But you're not buying $100 worth of goods in 1913 goods. You're buying $100 worth of goods in 2021 goods. So yes, the value of the dollar has declined, but the goods you're buying with that declining dollar are different than they used to be. People don't get this. Well, let me tell you what I'm talking about. So we're going to go to, just good old-fashioned electricity, for instance. In 1960, the nominal price of a kilowatt hour of electricity was 2.6 cents. Fast forward till, this is just 2011, but it's basically 14 cents a kilowatt hour today. The nominal price. However, from 1960 to 2011, the real price in 1960 wasn't 2.6 cents a kilowatt hour. In terms of after inflation was factored, 14 cents. You fast forward to 2011, and while you're paying $11.80 a kilowatt hour, which is significantly higher than what you were paying back in 1960, the price of electricity has actually dropped by 40%, the actual price. So while the dollar amount you have to pay is increased 5 times, the actual price has dropped. So again, what you're buying in 1913 that costs $100 is nowhere near what you're buying in today's goods. So the price from $100 in 1913 doesn't matter because the goods that you're buying today did not exist back then. Oh, it drives me up the wall. All right, we're not done here. So I want to show you guys inflation stuff because this is where they get you, the actual inflation rate. All right. So we're going to show you the actual. In fact, I thought I clicked on it. The actual inflation rate. Why is it not working? We're just going to go back to 10 years. The actual inflation rate. Look, 2 to 4%, 2 to 4. Right. So in 2011, it was about 4%, and then dropped to basically under 2. It stayed below 2. That one little bit, a little bit, and then this insanity that we got because of the pandemic shutdowns. But you can see it was roughly about 1.8% a year from the last 10 years, essentially. That was the actual inflation, 1.8% a year. But if we look at inflation expectations, notice the difference here. And this only goes back to 2014. But the expectations were, here's 3. 3, so basically 3.5, 3, 3, and this is between 2.5 and 3. So 2.5, 3, 2.5, 3, 2.5, a little bit lower than 2.5. The actual expectation for inflation was about 2.75, a full 100 basis points higher than the actual inflation itself. All right, so people are freaking scared crapless of inflation. They're like, oh my goodness, inflation's going to eat us alive. All right, I want to go here. All right, so what could possibly be the cause of this nonsense? Well, right here. In a blow to climate whiners, a new breakthrough creates crops that can grow 50% more potatoes and rice. Like clockwork, every year climate activists and their media enablers publish bold headlines claiming global warming will result in crop yield reductions, failures, and food shortages every single year. Cue doomsdayer Paul Ehrlich and the population bomb. The most recent absurd claim is from CNN Business, who says climate-driven crop failures are driving up food prices. Climate change is coming right into our dining room table, says some clown. Of course, the data for actual crop yields doesn't support that, because why do we need to look at actual data? Their claims are all based on models, kind of like the global warming models, a failed hockey stick. But yet here's cereal production, utilization, and stocks. And here is the actual production. It's going up, goes down a little bit, goes up, goes down a little bit, goes up, goes down a little bit, goes up. Here's the stocks, and here's the utilization. Yeah, it just freaking things out. So we're well beyond production over utilization. That's just a fact, which is why the stocks can get stored more. But real science, well, any social engineering agenda has just made all these claims moot, especially in poorer countries that rely on rice. University of Chicago recently announced a breakthrough research published in Nature Biotechnology that will yield increased crop production by doing a simple manipulation of the RNA. Oh my goodness, they're modifying the plant cells. This new modification allows plants to yield dramatically more crops as well as increased drought tolerance. According to the University of Chicago, adding a gene encoding for a protein called FTO to both rice and potatoes increased their yields by 50%. The plants grew significantly larger, produced longer root systems. Longer root system. What does that do to the soil? Oh, it aerates the soil, creates more mycorrhizal fungi, microorganisms, wormies. It's all good, man. And we're better able to tolerate drought. All right, further analysis showed that plants also increase their photosynthesis. So here's a plant on the left, a typical one. Rice plants without the modification, rice plants with the modifications. On the right, a rice plant with the modification that boosts yields. The plant on the right has double the amount of rice kernels, What's more, it worked on every type of plant we tried it with. So far, a very simple modification to make. UC reports that the rice plants grew 3 times more rice under laboratory conditions. When they tried it in real test fields, it grew more than 50%. So unlike these fools who do, we got solar, we can get 35% efficiency in a lab. Yeah, put that on my rooftop and see what you can. These guys are actually doing it. They grew longer roots, photosynthesized more efficiently, and could better withstand stress and drought. They made experiments with the potato plants, which are part of a completely different family, and the results were the same. Look. No RNA. The fact that some RNA modification worked on both potatoes and rice suggests a degree of universality for the new discovery that is extremely exciting. As the research try other staple crops, such as corn and soybeans, oh my goodness, not those, because those are GMO, the timing for American farm, or the results could be dramatic. While environmentalists and food safety critics will probably try to label this improvement yet another variation of Frankenfood, it turns out the researchers are not doing any GMO at all, but merely tapping into something already in the plant. According to one of the researchers, it's a brand new type of approach, one that could be different from GMO and CRISPR gene editing. It allows us to flip a switch in the plants at an early point in their development. According to Michael Creamer, another UC researcher, this is a very exciting technology and could potentially help address problems of poverty and food insecurity. All right, we're not done yet, so check this. From my homesteading app that I follow, Bertardia Times, app.bertariatimes.com. The surprise look when you show someone that broccoli didn't occur naturally. Humans bred it from wild mustard. If we check this out, we can see here's the broccoli. That's the brassica. I can't really read that because I have my glass on. But it leads to selection for leaves. Kale. That definitely looks like a kale plant. Selection for broccoli, cauliflower. I'm not sure what that is. Kohlrabi. Brussels sprouts and cabbage. Broccoli didn't occur naturally. Humans bred it. And then it's funny because some of the comments were pretty funny that vegans will get all frustrated because I followed Dr. Sebi for a while, and there are a ton of veggies that are not naturally occurring, and the majority of vegans don't even know it. Only naturally occurring food has positive electrical elements that help the body heal itself. Anyway, point being is when you see this stuff in 1913 dollars, you're like, oh my goodness, the value of the dollar has declined. The goods you're buying today are not the goods you're buying in 1913. We're buying different goods, better goods. Electricity's gone down. Remember phones? Oh my goodness, you remember how much? Do you remember trying to get a phone guy to install your phone? Do you remember that? It's like dealing with the government, man. It was like the DMV. It was nuts. And now you just go to the local Costco and you can sign up for Verizon or whatever your plan is. It's insanity. So this right here, remember, they didn't have phones back then. They didn't have radios. They didn't have TVs. Never mind the internet. Oh, I want to show you something else too. Hold on a sec. We're going to go here. And I want to show you something here. Internet, there was something on here called prices. Let's go to, hold on a sec, consumer. I think it might be consumer. Hold on a sec. So here's the internet speed. We only go back to 2008. But, I mean, geez Louise. Kilobytes per second, 18,747 kilobytes per second, which is up from, 4,000 in 2007. Just give me a freaking break, man. I mean, I could not be doing this job right now if it weren't for the internet. The whole thing is insane. I get so sick of all these doomsdayers. Like, oh my, I wonder, someone's telling me that, was it Australia or was it Philippines? I think it was the Philippines this guy was saying, or maybe it's Thailand. maybe it was Thailand. This guy, because he's moving to Thailand, he was telling me the internet speed in Thailand. Did I find out her business? Let's see if we can find that. Yeah, it was through the roof. I think it was Thailand. So that it doesn't look the same there. Anyway, I can't remember. That only goes back to 2016. Huh? I wonder why that doesn't go there. And someone else was, maybe it was Philippines. I think it was. I could have sworn it's Thailand, but someplace. I think his wife's from the Philippines and they're moving to Thailand, or no, it was. I can't remember. I just remember it was one of my clients. Great guy. He was in the Marine Corps, so we have to talk very slow for this guy because when they're in the Marine Corps, you know how it is. They call them jarheads for a reason. Well, it's only 2006, 16. So anyway, be it as it may, stop worrying about the fear mongering. You saw the level of food is not very volatile, which means you can plan for it. And of course, there's always a way you can deal with your plans, which is to go start growing some food. Look, I do think hyperinflation on electricity is coming because they're shutting down fossil fuels. Well, so they say. I did a video yesterday showing how the insanity of the green people seems like even old Boris Johnson is getting a little bit of a spine to say, because he's an idiot, man. I mean, my goodness, Scott, these guys are just idiots. So it seems like they're getting a little bit of spine to recognize it's all big fraud. But be it as it may, they're still pushing a lot of money to this green stuff. So until we get hit hard, they're going to keep going after this, which means you're going to have higher inflation in electricity. So one of the ways you can do that is just buy your own solar array. You know what I'm saying? If you have the place for it. You know, obviously you want to be facing south. You want to have some land. Ideally, you don't put it on your rooftop. Ideally, you put it on a ground. And even if you have a track, all that stuff costs money. But that's a way to lock in electricity prices. And of course, you need a battery bank too. But it's just the fear mongering drives me up the wall. It's just a way to get you scared. Stop it. Stop falling for these guys. I will see you.